accessing 2D lists by row or column. Often you're going to want to access every element in a 2D list, as we've already seen with nested looping over 2D lists. Sometimes, though, you might want to extract just one row or one column. Here we'll see how to do that. For rows, it's actually fairly easy because you can just do A of row. A of 0 is the 0th row. A of 3 is row 3, which is technically the 4th row. This is because Python stores lists, 2D lists, in row major form. So that is storing it as rows. Okay, that's fine. One thing that you have to be aware of is you're getting an alias, not a copy. This means it's very cheap to do because no new lists are created to access a row. It also means you better be careful because any modifications to the row will in fact be a modification to the original list. To see that in action, here we're going to do my row list is a 1D list, and sure enough, 4, 5, 6 is row 1 of this list. But if I were to now say row list of 0 of say 1 is 42, if I were to print the row list, not surprisingly, the 5 became 42. But if I were to print A, that also happened in the original because now this row, this list is an alias to this list. If you did not want that to be the case, you could go ahead and say it's a copy of that. Of course, we'd have to import copy. Then this comment wouldn't be true. Now when we run, you can see that when we printed row list, we got the 42 there, but when we print A, the change didn't happen here. So only take a copy of the row if you really need a copy. Otherwise, go ahead and take an alias, as we've done here, because the alias doesn't create a new list, which copy naturally does. All right, for a column, it doesn't work the same way. Since it's stored row major, you can just grab a row, but you can't grab a column. You have to build the column yourself. So you go ahead and start with a column list, and you go through every possible row, and you just append the column onto that, the value from that column. So to tell you the truth, I think this code would probably be cleaner if we said rows calls equals len of A of 0. And then we'd probably right here say for a row in range rows. And then this would be, and now we go ahead and run this. And it runs the same in our row column notation. Fine. There's another way to do this, though, to access the whole column with a list comprehension. This is exactly the same as earlier in the notes when we were constructing a variable-sized 2D list. So you can have a list comprehension which will pull out that column from each row in turn. So that works as well. So you cannot access a column with aliases because columns aren't stored as lists. You have to extract them. You can extract rows as aliases, and then you'll have to use copy if you don't want an alias.